Do you remember understanding corrosion? Corrosion is the deterioration of a metal as a result of its chemical reactions with the surrounding environment. The surrounding environment could be water, moisture, or even acids. You would have noticed that an iron rod which is shiny initially gets coated with reddish-brown powder when kept as is for a few months. It's called rusting of iron and is one of the most common examples of corrosion. Iron reacts with oxygen to give iron oxide. Rusting of iron is just an example of corrosion. But let's understand this in a bit more detail. What are the conditions under which iron rusts? We can perform a simple experiment to understand the answer. We would need 3 test tubes and place clean iron nails in each of them. Now we pour some water in the first test tube and cork it. Leave the test tube as is. Now pour boiled distilled water in the second test tube and then add very little oil in it. Then cork it. As the density of oil is lesser than that of water, it will float and prevent air from dissolving in the water. And why do you think the water is boiled? Yes, it's to remove any dissolved air which is present in the water. And in the third test tube, we put some anhydrous calcium chloride and cork it. What does it do? It absorbs the moisture from the air. So in the first test tube, the iron is exposed to moisture as well as air. In the second, it's exposed only to water. And in the third one, it's exposed only to dry air. We leave the test tubes as is for a few days and observe what happens. We see that the iron in the first test tube rusts, while that in the second and the third ones don't. What does that tell us? It tells us that water and oxygen are both essential for rusting of iron. And it's not only iron that gets corroded. Even silver and copper can be corroded. And in everyday life, the air will never really be dry. If that's the case, how can we really prevent corrosion? Watch the next video to know the answer.